Hi, everyone, and welcome to episode number 11 of Finding Bliss in Real Estate. I'm your host, Morgan Larson, founder of Bliss Real Estate Team here in the El Dorado County, California area, close to Sacramento. And I have a very special guest today. I have Stephanie Jeter with us from First American Home Warranties. And so we're going to talk all about home warranties today, what they are, how they work, all the ins and outs, the goods, the bads. There's really no uglies. So we'll go from there. So I'm going to pass it over to Stephanie. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Stephanie, who you are, where you live, and all the good stuff.
Well, good morning, Morgan, and thank you for having me. I am Stephanie Jeter. I am with First American Home Warranty. I have been with First American Home Warranty for just about 25 years. So I obviously love home warranties, toilets and water heaters. And been doing it for quite a few years. Have a lot of good information for you guys. I live locally. I am in Loomis and love the area, love our communities. And I'm here to help you with home warranties and explain a little bit of how they work, what they're good for, things we don't cover, some of the limits, and so forth.
Perfect. Well, good. Yeah, I met Stephanie. I think I met you right when I very first started. And, no negatives to the other reps out there, but Stephanie has always stood out as far as really being there and taking phone calls and answering text messages and talking directly with my clients. So I've always really appreciated that. So thank you for being an awesome rep.
Absolutely. That is part of any, I think, experience in life, right? Whether it's real estate, homeowners insurance, car insurance, home warranty, you are going to have things you don't understand, things you need to ask questions about. And that's what we're here for, is a resource for you. So yes, I'm always happy to answer questions. I'd rather answer them before than after we have something that happens. So I'm always here to help you and your clients, Morgan.
Perfect. Well, let's jump right in. So tell me a little bit about, just on the basic, if someone had never heard of a home warranty before, what is it, and why would you have one, or why would you get one?
So a home warranty is very complicated in some manners, but yet so simple in others. We basically are covering majority of your mechanical items in your home that fail due to normal wear and tear. Now, do we cover things that aren't mechanical? Yes, we do. We do have other items that we offer now, such as rekey service and certain things like that are nice to have when you're into a home, right? You can have the home rekeyed. We'll do 6 locks, even 4 new keys. That's not a mechanical failure, but it's an extra feature that we've added over the years. I'm just trying to offer a little bit more. And the warranties are there for you for many reasons. They can help save money. They can help take off some of the trouble as a buyer when you're working, you have young children, you're busy, to have to try to find a contractor or figure out why something needs to be replaced, or if it needs to be replaced, or can it be just repaired? Those are some of the things that homeowners sometimes don't have time to figure out if it's not your forte. So we can be there as a third party where you call us, you call our service line. We will then dispatch a local licensed contractor, insured contractor, and they will come out and they will assess your failure. If it's something we cover, we can take care of it sometimes same day. Sometimes we'll have to, then bring that information back to our team in the office, which is an authorizations team, that will then go through some of those things that as a homeowner, you don't want to have to decipher, right? We'll look at it and say, okay, here's what's failed. Here's what we cover. Here's what we don't cover. Here we can repair this. We don't have to replace it. So it's not going to cost you as much money, which is great, right? So we're there to help you through that process. And then if there's a contractor or even a situation where we're not sure about it, rather than you as a homeowner without a home warranty, having to go find a second opinion by somebody else, which is a lot on your plate. If you're working, have children, you're busy with sports, whatever it might be, you have us to call and say, hey, I'm not sure about this. What do you think? That's where I can step in and say, you know what, you're right. I'm not sure. Let's have somebody else come take a look at that. And then that liability is or that responsibility is off your plate. And we will step in and help you decipher those failures and what your options are.
Perfect. Yeah. So basically it's kind of a mini insurance program.
Yes.
And I think often what's confused is homeowners insurance, what that covers versus what a home warranty covers. And
yes.
So do you want to give a little bit of the difference there between home insurance and home warranty?
Yes. So I get that question a lot. We cover a lot of things homeowners doesn't cover and vice versa. So for example, if you have a dishwasher or a water heater, that fails and leaks, right? Floods your kitchen, floods your hallway. We are there to take care of the item itself. So the dishwasher, the water heater, and then homeowners does mold, secondary damage, the things that we don't cover. So we won't cover the wood floor or the cabinet behind the dishwasher. Say that maybe that dishwasher was leaking for 6 months and you didn't know it until it actually started causing damage under the dishwasher out into your kitchen floor. We would take care of that failed item, that plumbing line, the dishwasher, and then homeowners takes care of cabinet damage, mold, other issues behind that area.
Perfect example. That's a really good example, because sometimes the item itself breaks, but it doesn't actually damage other things.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes we have damage without a thing being broken.
You know what? Let me tell you, in all my years, people go, gosh, you must just know things inside. I go, I do for the most part, but there's always something new, even after 25 years.
Yeah. So, homeowners insurance is something that most people are required to have as long as they have a mortgage, but we're not required to have a home warranty. What's sort of like, I don't want to put you on the spot with pricing per se, but pricing and, does price, I'm almost always in control of the first year, but some people choose to have it multiple years. And so I don't really know about the pricing beyond the first year. So kind of give us an idea of what it costs, and do people choose to do it ongoing while they own a home?
Yes. So on price points, we have an introductory rate that is your in escrow when you buy a home rate. When you go into your second year, we do have a renewal price. It goes up a little bit, not a lot, considering what you're getting and everything that we cover. Because if you look at a home, right, we're covering oven, stove, microwave, trash compactors, water heaters, air conditioner, heating systems. We have a lot plumbing stoppages, electrical panels, breakers. That's a lot. Those are a lot of items that we're covering. And you can get a really nice package. And again, ballpark, right? We're talking ballpark here, depending on the size of your home. Square footage is a factor. If you're over 5,000 square feet, for instance, it would be a little different. If you have a guest quarter, a little different. But for a basic single family home under 5,000 square feet, you can get a really nice package, around $600 on average, and like I said, it can give or take if you have different items like septic pools, but that's kind of average. And you think of all the items that you're covering, right? So we go up from there just a little bit. We don't increase huge amounts. We don't go up like $400. It's not that kind of an increase. And it depends on what items you have. Of course, on the policy, it can be 100, 150 higher, not terribly, right? Considering the stuff that we're covering in the home, especially now, because a microwave just by itself can be $800, right? To $1,000. So you think about the overall cost of our product for a full year really isn't that bad. It's pretty reasonable considering.
Yeah. I mean, I would say I've been a homeowner for almost 15 years, and pretty much something breaks every year.
and that's getting even more frequent now with a lot of, and people always ask me when they call me, they always want my advice. Like, what should I put on my warranty? My dishwasher or my refrigerator is only 4 years old. It's only 5 years old. 6, do you consider that old? And I have a hard time answering that question now, because with a lot of the energy efficient products, we are seeing in my 25 years, those old avocado green dishwashers or refrigerators, they didn't die for 25 years. Now our new energy efficient products, although they're great energy efficiency, they tend to have failures much more frequently at younger ages. So I don't ever like to give that number, because we're seeing more of those failures, like you said, on a daily, yearly, monthly basis. So it's hard to say, get one. We'll wait till they're 15 years old. You can't say that anymore. We do have small failures that a lot of times are repairable, but they're more frequent at younger ages of the appliances. So yeah. And then keep in mind too, Morgan, or everybody, clients of yours, if they're coming through you and me, I can also, we have other programs I can put them in, and we have payment plans and other ways to do the warranty. So if they come through as a referral from you, we can always, work on some of those other options for them.
I didn't realize there was payment plans, but that's good to know.
Yes.
Yeah. So, in years past, it's always, I would say 95% of transactions, the seller would pay for the home warranty. And then things change. We become such a crazy seller's market that I know that for basically all my transactions representing buyers right now. Oh, hi, my kitty's in the for all my transactions, it seems like either the buyer's paying, or actually I'm paying at times too, because I want to make sure that there's coverage. But let's say somebody's working with someone who isn't willing to pay, or they're going to have to pay and they're unsure whether they should or shouldn't. What would you kind of tell those people who are considering it but are unsure?
I would probably just ask them, what their lifestyle is. If they are that person that does like to have somebody, to kind of lean on, to go to for things with their home, then absolutely. I mean, it can be a great way to go to take care of some of those things that are going to fail more than likely quite frequently, because you have so many systems in your home. I would recommend, like I do with anybody I talk to, is to call me and talk to me about it, because there are so many different options. It's not a one size fits all. Some people are more concerned with just their air conditioner and their heating system. But they're like, you know what, if my refrigerator breaks tomorrow, I'm going to go buy a new RC while I want it in tomorrow. There's different packages, there's different options. So people that are uncertain, I would say call me so I can give them the exact details and options that they may or may not want, because it's about customizing it to their needs and making sure it's going to fit their, and it's not one size fits all.
Yeah. That is a really good point. And like some people, myself and my husband are a bit this way. If something is, maybe it's not even all the way broken, but we're just ready for a new one, so we'll just buy something, versus some people, and both are right, I guess, but then other people will wait until something has definitely failed. And I would say if you're someone who's a definite fail, I would definitely go with a home warranty, because it opens up so many options.
Yes. And so I'll give you an example. I was with some friends yesterday and she was talking about her home, and she really worries about, say, the carbon footprint and stuff. And she doesn't like to replace things frequently. So she's like, I want to repair as long as I possibly can. So home warranty for those people is great, because we will repair it as long as we can for you. And we do part searches and we will find things. So everybody is different, like I said. So when I talk to people, if you want, to cover just your air conditioning and heating system, I have a package for that. That's like your basics. Then if you want to add on refrigerator, washer and dryer, and you're one of those that does want to you love your systems, or you love your units, the way they look, the way they fit, whatever it is, we are there to help you maintain and keep it repaired at what you currently have, as long as we can. And we do have resources to do that. We have people, we do part searches. We have a lot of resources that you may not have time as a homeowner, to go seek. So.
Yeah. Well, tell me this too, because this is kind of it's not that new, but it's newer. It's a newer concept. And I feel like it's not adopted as often as it could be. There are home warranties for people selling their homes. So if you're a home seller, you actually can have a home warranty during, the sale process of the home. And so, and it's pretty affordable. So tell me a little bit more about that program and why somebody selling may want something like that.
So that's a really great product, and it is really underutilized, I think, a lot, because a lot of people aren't as educated as you are, Morgan, and stay on top of things. I mean, honestly, some people don't even know we have it, which is a shame. And it's a great product for listings. And the reason you might want it, I can give some great examples, is, again, we don't cover everything and we have limits, right? But there's a lot of basic things that happen during a listing. I'm sure you can attest to that. I mean, a 2 stove burners go out, or they're not working on a stove, or, you're a week before close and the oven goes out, right? And you're getting ready to close your escrow and the oven's not working. In fact, there was one agent in your office that had that happen a few years ago, and it was a double oven, and they were in escrow, they were closing on Friday. And on Tuesday, Mrs. Homeowner calls the agent and says, hey, my oven just quit working, and it's a double oven. And you're on Tuesday before the Friday close of escrow. So we placed the claim, we had a tech out, we were able to secure the parts. It was a 5-year-old unit, actually, a 5-year-old double oven. So we weren't going to replace it, right?
Yeah.
And so we were able to find the parts, but they weren't going to be delivered till Tuesday of the following week, and closing was on Friday. So we were able to, because that policy was also going to transfer into a buyer's policy, we actually did a letter and let the buyers know that we had, we're going to close this claim out to completion with this repair. And they were secure in closing the escrow and continue on Friday and continuing on with their repair on Tuesday with them as the new owners. And they took over that claim and we replaced the parts, and she was happy, and they had a great double oven on Tuesday rather than Friday, but they were able to close the escrow. And there are circumstances, I will give a little disclaimer here. There are certain situations say on like a air conditioner or a heating system, where
Mhm.
sometimes those have a lot more going on with those claims because you have modifications and other things are going to occur with those, that
Yeah.
may take some more negotiating. And that's something that you as an agent, Morgan, and your client would then want to, discuss if those claims are more in depth or larger claims. But some of those basics, we can take care of some of those things during that escrow period and take that off your plate and help you secure your closing, right? Just
Yeah.
take some of those. And then when you're selling a home, a lot of times someone's looking to their next property. You don't want to put money into your current property, right?
Right.
I mean, you may still have to, don't get me wrong, but
Yeah.
you may, if it's a small item and something like this double oven, it took care of the problem and everybody was happy.
Yeah.
So it's a nice option.
I always tell people it's like when you go to, I'm just going to say, sell a car and then
Mhm.
something breaks. It's like whenever you go to sell something, something breaks. And so I can't tell you how many sellers I've had who it's like they go on the market and then the dishwasher breaks, or they go on the
Mhm.
market and then the hot water heater has an issue. Or I had one where they went on the market and the washer flooded their washer machine. Which of course is a whole other thing because that involves
Yes.
ServPro and whatever else, but still, at least having the home warranty covers a whole gamut of items that could break, and or sometimes you don't know they're not operating. And then I don't know, how does it work? So explain this. I'll just give an example that I've got going on right now, which is the home inspector came in for the buyer and said, hey, the jetted tub isn't working, but the seller was like, to my knowledge, it works. Is it now negated because a home inspector came in, or could the seller still call because they didn't have knowledge it had worked up to that point?
So that is a very good question. And so how we look at it is we do unknown pre-existings. So we'll do unknown pre-existings if it wasn't able to be found or known with like a visible or mechanical test. There are certain circumstances where those things come up. And so some of those would be things the seller could call in on. If you've got a garbage disposal, say for instance, it's leaking water under a sink and you can see the puddle of water, that's a very, very, just because you didn't open it doesn't mean that that's really pre-existing. It's not going to be covered.
Yeah.
Things like, a good example, I had a home in Elk Grove that just recently that had some leaks under the home. So plumbing leaks under the home. Now, those were obviously there because there was water under there, correct? I mean, there was water, but who crawls into their home?
The home inspector.
Yes, exactly. So really that's an unknown pre-existing. So we took care of those leaks. There was no visibility of a problem inside the home, in the shower tub area. And that was not found until the inspector went under the home. So we consider that an unknown pre-existing. And we went ahead and went out and repaired those 3 leaks under the home. And so the seller was very happy. They paid their $85 service fee, which there is a service fee for every trade call that goes out.
Yep.
But they were thrilled because to have a plumber repair those 3 leaks under a home would have been a lot more costly to that seller. So we were able to repair it and have it done by the close date. So those things can be very helpful. Yes. But there are certain things, if you know that like your self cleaner on your oven isn't working as a seller and it's not been working for 2 years, that would be something we wouldn't want you to call a claim in on. That would be considered pre-existing. Things that things that are obvious. Unknown things also like heat exchangers. That's a big deal. It happens a lot with homes where there's, a heat exchanger leaking, but you don't know that you have to take apart the actual heater to see that a lot of times. So those are things we consider pre-existing unknown that we wouldn't expect a seller to know until an inspector got in there. So there's a gray area there, but again, call me and I'm happy to go through those and review those situations with, you as a seller.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, on that plumbing one that you just mentioned, that could have been a lot of money. I mean, I know I had a plumber come out, and granted it was a little bit of an emergency thing and they came out right away, but it was $250, So
this one probably with 3 leaks, again, I'm guessing it would be probably been closer up to 1,000 probably for that repair.
That's what I was going to guess. Probably about 1,000.
Yeah. So you're saving a little chunk of money there as a seller. Like I said, you want to take your money now and put it into your next property, right? Not the one you're selling and it's closing in 2 weeks. So,
yes. Exactly. So why don't we talk a little bit about some of the things you do and don't cover?
Okay. So we cover, like I mentioned, first of all, we cover normal wear and tear items. So as a home warranty company, this is industry standard, by the way. We don't cover things that are undersized or that are missing parts or physically damaged items. Or so, we don't, if someone says, oh, this oven has scratches all down the front of it. Well, we're not going to do physical, cosmetic. We're not going to do undersized items. So for instance, and this is kind of a good example, especially right now because it's air conditioning season. So if you have a home that has ductwork, for instance, that is not laid out correctly, or not laid out, I should say, well enough to cool certain rooms, or it's too small because, let's face it, sometimes builders may miscalculate, or, who knows what happens. There's miscommunication with the builder and the supplier or whatever. And if something is too small for a home, we don't upgrade it, right, for size. So if you have ductwork that's too small, or if you have an electrical panel that's too small, that doesn't support, say, an addition on a home, say you put an addition on a home and didn't upgrade your panel, we don't upgrade the panel to now work, better for that addition. We cover current issues that are correct, that just are old. We don't discriminate for age. So we don't care how old the house is, as long as it's in good, safe working order at the close of escrow. So we cover things that are in their proper order, that are failed for normal wear and tear. Again, not missing parts, not undersized. And then the items that we cover, mechanical failures, like I mentioned, think of things like plumbing stoppages, leaks. We cover electrical breakers, outlets. We cover your oven, stove, microwave. We're going to cover attic fans, air conditioning, heating systems, water heaters. We don't discriminate tankless or gas, electrical. We cover all water heaters in that capacity as far as tankless and regular gas water heaters. We cover refrigerators, washer and dryers, and a lot of those are optional. You can add those or not. We do now offer some additional items. We've gone a little bit deeper now. We do cover water softeners. We do septic, well, but with all of those items and options, you always want to take a look at the brochure and review the items, because we do have, much like dental insurance or medical insurance, we say we cover septic systems.
Yeah.
But there are portions we don't cover. So we cover a pump, but we don't do leach fields. So it's
Right.
a little bit like dental insurance. You'll have your cleanings 100% covered, but a bridge maybe, is 60-40 split, on the coverage. So a little bit the same way with our options. So you always want to make sure to review the brochure. But those are some of the ideas of things that we cover, mechanically speaking. And we do have new options now. Our coverage with home warranty, basic with all companies, industry standard, is within the main foundation of the home. So we cover things within the main foundation of the home, unless it's an option that you add. So for instance, sprinklers, we don't cover sprinklers on the exterior of a home. But if you have a guest house, we have coverage for guest homes. If you have a pool house, we now have certain coverages for some pool houses. So we do have some additional items you can get for exterior, but you have to review your PDF or give me a call and I will go over those things with you, or the brochure if you need a brochure too. I'm happy to get those out to any of your clients.
Gotcha. Yeah. Well, I've now taken, you gave me that little app, your little website. And so then I load the most current version. So we have them to email to people, which I
See,
find
what did I say?
easier.
You're working with the best. Like Morgan is on it. she's ahead of the game there.
So question, like you mentioned the electrical panel. And so
Mhm.
I think the key is that if we're doing replacement, or it's usually like for like is kind of the terms that they use. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
So when we go back in, so a good example, again, I stick with air conditioning because that is the season right now. It's hot and heavy right now. So with a replacement, say of an air conditioner, I had one again, this last week, where the homeowner had our tech out and he evaluated the system, and they have found out the system is barely meeting the size for the home. So we're going to go back and replace things with same features, functions, and capacity or size. So if you have a 310 system, we're going to go back with a 310 system. If your technician or company is saying, hey, you really should have a 410 system because of your square footage, we aren't going to upgrade to a 410 system. That would be something, then what you would do is we do have the option to cash out for the value of that equipment and you can upgrade. Okay, so that would be an option. We don't just say, sorry, this is what you get. We do give that option to cash out.
Got it. Okay, that makes sense. So it's, if you want the upgraded whatever, they're going to offer you the cash value to basically go toward that.
And then a little reminder too, and these are just tidbits. When we say cash value, Again, keep in mind our price point of our warranty at that, say 600, just as a ballpark for a basic home. We have to keep our costs at our wholesale pricing. So it'll be a little bit less than what you pay for retail, but it's a lot better than not having one at all, right? You're going to get a nice chunk of, money to go toward that new system you're going to put in.
Right.
So,
yeah. And that's what I figured. You probably would get the cash out value of what the home warranty company is paying for whatever that 3-ton system would be.
And that is how we keep our price points, reasonable to be able to cover a home. So I just like to let everyone know that. Yeah.
That actually brings up a point. I know you guys have a network of all the different contractors that you're affiliated with. So does the contractor always need to be that person, or can the consumer pick somebody else, or how does that part work?
So with home warranties, we don't allow a homeowner just to call their own technician and run their claim and then send us invoices. It's not working that way. How we do it is you call our 800 number, which is a 24-hour, 7-day-a-week service line, or go online. We have a nice app online also to use. Place a claim with us. We dispatch a contractor that's licensed and insured to you. They will take care of the claim. They work off of kind of like HMOs, they have negotiated rates. And that's, again, how we keep our cost on the front end for everybody. But if there's a certain circumstance where we can't get adequate service in a timely manner, because maybe it is a heat wave, or it's a special item, it needs a certain technician, or, maybe it's someone who's certified in that particular item, we will then give that homeowner authorization, but it has to be when we give them authorization to hire an outside tech. And there's a process with that. But we do it when necessary. Yes.
Gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense a lot. Well, tell me, is there anything else that we should know about home warranties that I'm not thinking of?
Well, one thing I think is important to know, and I think it's only come up in my, like I said, 25 years, you start to, business changes, demands change, needs change. And one thing I know I was talking to Morgan about earlier is with Amazon now and everything, like even myself, I ordered actually for my refrigerator, a filter. I ordered it last night at 10 o'clock. It's coming today. I mean, it's going to be here probably by noon. And I'm thinking, wow, that's crazy, right? So with that type of stuff going on in today's world, I get a lot of homeowners now that, maybe are expecting sometimes things to happen tomorrow, or, that Amazon speed. And I wish everything was like that, but sometimes it's not. We're noticing, especially right now with the slowdown of production for the past year with COVID and different things, we have to order parts sometimes for a particular, model or a brand. And sometimes manufacturers, if they're making that particular item and they only make so many at a time, we might have to wait a week to get a part. And it could be 2 weeks before you get something put in. So there are certain circumstances where you have a little bit of a process and delay. It's not same day, next day. So you will have sometimes that waiting period. And I like everyone to be aware of that. I mean, when we can do things, some things are put in same day, some things are repaired same day, but sometimes there is going to be a week or 2 wait period. And we'll always let you know that. And we always give an option if you prefer to do the cash out, even in those situations. And you think, I don't like this oven anymore. It's so old. I have my eyes set on this other beautiful oven I want to upgrade to. You also have an option to cash out in those circumstances as well and put that money toward that item if you want to not wait,
Gotcha. Okay. That did actually make me think of at least one other question.
Yeah. Go right ahead. That's what I'm here for.
So let's say someone like myself, I don't have a home warranty currently. I bought my house 4 years ago. If I wanted to start a home warranty, am I able to?
Yes, you can. So all you have to do is call me, or reach out to Morgan to get a hold of me. And I am absolutely able to set you up into a home warranty for a current homeowner that's not in escrow.
Okay.
Yes, we do have.
Okay. I wasn't sure if you could or couldn't do that. So that's good to know.
Yes.
And then, this was the other thing. I know. So I think you briefly mentioned it earlier, but talk again. I love this. And I try to tell all my buyers this, but I don't always remember, truthfully. Rekeying. I love that you guys started the rekeying system. So tell us a little bit about that.
So what you do is you can call on the morning of your close date. So it can be actually at 1 a.m. on your close date. It doesn't matter as long as it's your close date. You call and schedule for the locksmith, and we will send out a locksmith that will change, or I should say they'll rekey 6 locks and give you 4 new keys. Now I have a lot of questions. It's a great deal. I have a lot of people that'll call and say, well, I have this new door handle I want as well, or I have this. That is something the locksmiths we use are local locksmiths. So all you would have to do then is make that call to the locksmith and say, hey, I want to, you're coming out to do the home warranty rekey for me. I also have this lock I'd like to put on, or I also have maybe a pool gate key that I want to redo. You can let them know that, and they will also always be happy to help you with additional items at a separate fee. And they're all very reasonable from what I've been involved with. So it's a nice service.
Yeah. I mean, that's great for the $85 service fee call, right?
Yes. $85. Yes. So another thing we have, which is kind of a nice feature, is $85 is your service fee per trade call. So what that means is if you move in and you have a plumbing leak and then you have an electrical issue, those are 2 separate contractors. So you would have a service fee for each. We also have a 30-day recall period. So if you have somebody out to repair something and it has an issue again within 30 days, you just call us and we'll send them back out at no charge to you.
Yeah.
That's a nice feature. And then we do have a couple, if you're in escrow, if you're doing an escrow product, which is when you're actually in escrow buying a home, that product is a little different than our current homeowner product. So with the current escrow product, you will receive also the ability to have pest control, which is something people forget about as well, which is another nice feature. It's not a mechanical failure. It falls under the same kind of guideline as like our rekey service, right? It's just kind of a bonus that we put in there years ago.
Yeah.
And people miss it a lot, but we'll come out and spray for ants, spiders, roaches, your basic household insects. And if, say, we spray for ants and then they come back in 2 weeks, which they often do, right?
Yeah.
They can call us again within that 30 days and they'll come back out again. So that's kind of a nice added bonus for the escrow product.
Yeah. I'm literally sitting here thinking of all the things over the last 4 years in this particular house that I was like, oh, we could have called for that. We've had, I mean, just put it out in the universe. We had a dishwasher break. We had our fridge. Both of these actually were leaks into our kitchen. So leaky dishwasher, the fridge leaked, the plumbing line from the back. We had ants last year.
Oh gosh.
We actually have replaced our entire HVAC system because there were ducting that was squashed. So I don't know if that would have been covered or not, but there's all the things in this.
Yeah.
That's just a couple I can remember.
Yeah. There's a lot that can go on. And that brings up a good point too, Morgan. And I know you use great inspectors. That's a big part of the failures that I see with air conditioning systems a lot of times is that people do get, if you own a home and say it's, your mom and dad or whatever, they have a home, how often are they going to go in the attic? Probably never, probably rarely or never. And then you buy this home and no one's gone in the attic, but yet you've had maybe the cable person up there, or you've had a roof leak where you've had a roofer up in there. There are certain circumstances where people get up there and they're not being careful. And I have seen some pretty bad pictures of crushed ductwork and things like that. We don't cover physical damage again. So really important that when you are buying a home, that you have that inspector look at that ductwork, accessible ductwork, and have them check it out, because we have rodent damage. Rodents love, especially when you've got, raised foundations, they love to get in there and create a nice, warm, cozy home in the wintertime.
Yeah.
So they'll tear apart that ductwork and I had a family of raccoons living in one of them. We don't cover that type of damage. So really important to have those looked at, and cleaning. We don't cover cleanings. That's another thing. That's one good point to make that people miss too, is we don't do maintenance as far as cleaning goes. So if they have, a dirty coil, a dirty air conditioner, it just is, a fact of life. When you have good airflow, whether it's, your car, whether it's your house, whether it's your air conditioner, good airflow allows that system to run a lot better. So we don't do cleanings, maintenance, crushed, damaged ductwork. Those are things to look at and maintain and pay attention to.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. And, there's always the things that they do cover, which is great. There's so much.
We have a lot of covered items, Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say a hot water heater gets called. I swear I get more notices that one of my past clients called on a hot water heater.
Yes. Plumbing is one of our biggest areas of claims. Yeah. Plumbing is one of our largest areas of claims. And hot water heaters are definitely one of them. And like I said, we do cover tankless. I get that question a lot. That is part of our coverage. And I do recommend looking at the policy when you're making your choices, because we do now have, which you know, Morgan, options that are going to give even better coverage for older systems like water heaters and air conditioners. So there's different levels of coverage you can get. If you're buying a brand new home with brand new systems, we have a package great for that. If you're buying a home with older HVAC or water heaters, we have add-ons that actually give you more coverage for older systems and leave you with less out-of-pocket expenses. So we have great add-ons that you want to pay attention to change that coverage.
I've had a lot of clients add the add-ons, because when you really look at it, because a lot of the homes in El Dorado County were built in the 70s or 80s.
Yes.
And even if some of the systems have been upgraded a couple times over the years, a lot of them are 15 plus years old. And I'm like, they're probably going to go out. You almost kind of cross your fingers that they go out in the first year.
I know, right? I know.
Then I say, you may want to look, like, the system's really old, so you may want the upgrades so that some of, the permit costs or the updating to today's standards and things like that are covered.
Yeah, that's, if there's one thing on this call or this, I would really impress upon people is, I know it gets really busy during escrow and you've got a lot going on and there's a lot to think about and know, but if you're really thinking home warranty, really take the time to spend 10 minutes and talking to myself or Morgan, because there are things, I get a lot of homeowners to go, why do I have to pay $800 to replace my water heater? And I thought I had a warranty, and you do. And we're covering the water heater, the installation, we're covering $250 and upgrades. We're covering a lot of different things. We're covering disposal fee, but there are things nowadays, as we all know, there's all these, new upgrades and requirements by counties and safety requirements and things that we don't have control over that are going to cost you out of pocket. And it seems like it's a lot, and it is, but we do have options that take away a lot of those fees and add more money in your pocket. And we spend more money by just you adding on $100 option. And when you've got $100 out of your pocket now, it's really not a lot. When you look at after the fact that during the claim, it's going to save you $1,000. You'll be like, dang it, why didn't I get that $100 option? I do that a lot. I do get that from homeowners. They'll say, I knew, I looked at that and I didn't get it, because they'll say, why am I spending this? And I'll say, well, you don't have this option. And they'll tell me a lot of times, like, I didn't do that and I should have. So just look at it and weigh out the age of your systems and the options that we have that really aren't a lot up front compared to when you get into that claim. So really important to know what you're getting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I would say, even though the home warranty costs have gone up minimally over the years, the costs of the repairs have gone up a lot lately.
Tremendously. Tremendously. There's a lot more requirements, a lot more, there's a lot more when you change out systems, especially air conditioning, water heaters. There are a lot of different sizes now. They don't fit a lot of times, especially a lot of your older homes in El Dorado County. If you've got the water heaters in tiny little closets like they used to do. Yeah. And now the new water heaters are a lot larger. They won't even fit in their current location. So you've got relocation issues. So there's a lot to consider with a home warranty. And we do have, like I said, packages that upgrade you and give you a little better coverage for some of those circumstances.
Yeah.
So,
perfect.
Yeah.
Great. Well, really quick, Stephanie, before we wrap things up, tell people where they can find you. I don't know if you have people follow you on social media, or if they can call you, or how they can
all of the above. So my phone number, you can reach me at 916-316-0533. I am on Facebook. You can always message me there. Just Stephanie, Phanie, and Jeter, Jet like Tom, ER. And you can reach me through Facebook. You can reach me, text me, call me. My email address is my first initial S, my last name Jeter, Jeter, at first, and that's FIRST, like Mary.com. So firstam.com.
Okay, perfect. And I'll put all that in the show notes so that people can reach out to you if needed. Thank you so much for coming and doing this with me today. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate you having me, Morgan, because I think the most important thing, with home warranty is this understanding and education. And I think it's just really important for people to know all the ins and outs and know they have a resource to help them through any claims and questions. I'm always here to help.
Yep. I mean, if I'm really honest, when I very first started as a realtor, I was like, oh, home warranties. I
Yeah.
didn't ever think they were a scam. That wasn't it. I was just like, they don't cover that much. But then,
Yes.
you do this long enough and you're like, oh no, they cover a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
fixing stuff on a home's expensive. So I'm so
Yes,
grateful that they have them out there. So
Yes, and I'm always here to help. So like I said, any questions and I'm always here to help and navigate through some of those confusing moments.
perfect. Well, everybody out there, thank you so much for watching again. And we'll be back actually in 2 weeks. I'm on vacation next week, everybody, but you can still get a hold of me and my team at 530-957-6236. And we would always love to help you with all your real estate stuff. So thanks, everybody. Take care.
Bye. Have a good day.